In the strategic game that is love, there are typically two parties. The loser, who confesses in shame, and the victor that basks in triumph. Who will win? These are their stories.
Half a year goes by.
You poor bastards. I do not like romance comedy anime. See, until now I've only seen 4. The first was Horimiya, which was a pretty good watch, but not a very exciting one. It also isn't advertised as a comedy in the first place. The second one was Bunny Girl Senpai, which ironically was advertised as a comedy, but is more like a quantum physicist's wet dream.
その法則を数式化して計算してしまえば、未来の状況を導き出せる。
What? So those don't count. The third one is the reason I don't like rom-coms, but we don't talk about that. The fourth one is the reason I do like them. Kaguya-sama Love is War is a good romance comedy anime. That in itself makes it phenomenal, because very few anime series are good at telling a romantic story in the first place. Love is War is also funny, because that's what the term rom-com implies, but I usually forget that after watching one of them. What it usually means is that you're gonna watch a black-haired high schooler get fawned over, rejected, or humiliated by several high school girls in a series of convenient misunderstandings. Very rarely is this funny, so when reading an anime synopsis, I often have to take the term romantic comedy with a grain of salt, because adding the term comedy is usually the equivalent of putting race stripes on your Prius so your friends think it goes faster. Anyway, here's what makes Love is War not one of those.
Tell Sugar Daddy what's wrong.
Please don't call yourself that ever again.
The English actors for this show are fucking incredible, and that's mostly because they realize that trying to replicate the original dialogue is, in fact, a terrible idea. The dub stays true to itself, and that's what makes it so good. Both the subbed and dubbed versions of Kaguya-sama are unique in what they have to offer, but are also both extremely well made. So much so that it was enough to make me watch the whole series again, just to watch the dubbed version.
How embarrassed are you right now? Hell, I'm embarrassed for you. I'd pack up and be halfway home. Shame, shame, shame.
Enough,
shame,
I think she gets the picture.
The results for today's battle. Shirogane loses.
If you don't tell her, it'll go unresolved forever.
Spoken like someone who's kept her feelings locked up for the past 27 episodes.
There is little to none. Praise the Lord. These are high schoolers. Go watch the OVAs if you want that. You sick fucks. I like simple plots, but we can't always have nice things. Attack on Titan, great show, but the plot is just, oh my god. I will never make a video about Attack on Titan, because that would mean I'd have to dissect the plot that's more complex than
United States copyright laws.
This girl is in love with this boy. This boy is in love with this girl. They are both too proud to confess to each other. This is the game. The first to confess loses. Love is war.
It's not like love is war and whoever gives their heart first is somehow conquered.
Hey, you get it? This is the title and the point of the whole story!
Now this may sound overly simple, but at least the characters are easy for people like my dumbass to understand. Unlike in some other series. The icing on the cake here is a modicum of relatability. You may notice that the character schemes to force a confession do get a little extreme, but really they're just overthinking, which is probably common for angsty teenagers with a love interest. It's very relatable in that sense.
Remember when I said we'd get to the home visit later? It's later!
You know how I just explained the plot like 2 seconds ago? Now you might be thinking, if these two never want to confess to each other, doesn't that mean the series never ends? Well, Kaguya-sama's plot gets completed in 3 seasons. This is because, in a move that can only be perceived as basic common sense, the writers recognize that romance stories actually need to be resolved, instead of dragging out the series for years like they're making fucking Simpsons cartoons. There's literally too many to count, but here's some honorable mentions. Kaguya-sama is the perfect example of what romantic comedy should aim to achieve. To be more than just decent, or just downright awful. To that end, this is the best rom-com anime series I've seen to date, and one of the best anime series I've seen, period. Forget that it's well-paced or even how incredibly well-animated it is. Love is War perfectly balances its absurd humor with incredible character development throughout its story, culminating in a masterpiece that is both hilarious and heartwarming to bear witness to. I doubt I will ever see another anime of its class, but this series has given me hope for what I previously saw as an extremely oversaturated genre, and as we exit the spring season, I'm now looking forward to what summer will bring next. Fuck.